Hey, this is Mike Gingrich with another Alive with Mike. Today, we're going to talk about website tips and tactics, things that can help make a difference in how you are using your website, making sure you're using it to its greatest potential, and maximizing the capabilities. Okay, so it's the beginning of the month, and at the beginning of the month, I get a report from the previous month, and the report comes from Google Search Console. And so Google Search Console is kind of um, the new iteration of what used to be Google Webmaster Tools. Google Search Console is something that you have to set up. Typically, it's tied to your Google Analytics account. It's a free service, from Google, and when you go in there, you can tie it to your Google Analytics account, your Google account, and set that up. It has to verify your website. Once it's verified, then it starts taking a look at tracking different data and metrics. And whereas Google Analytics gives you just analytics on where people came from, top pages, that type of thing, Google Search Console gives you some helpful information, but also takes a look at some other pieces deeper down in your website, how it's performing, speed, indexing of pages, all that type of thing. So anyway, long story short, I get this report that really summarizes. That's kind of basically the starting point. All you need to know to kind of keep an eye on things. Comes monthly there for the previous month, and it's my July search performance report. Okay, for the website. It's going to give you the basics, and tells you how many clicks came from the to your site on the web. It's going to tell you how many overall impressions your website had. So 1.46 million impressions. That's seems like a big number. So you watch that over time. And how many pages with first impressions. So if you're publishing new content, you should be able to see that number begin to get tracked. And Google Console is good about reading in new pages and seeing what's happening with those. But the magic is in a couple of the other areas in the email. It tells you your top growing pages. This is a great summary because it's comparing them to previous ones and saying which ones made the biggest jumps compared to the previous month. Okay, and so I can take a look at that, and it's telling me, wow, this page had 856 clicks to get to that page, traffic to that page. And so next most in growing was one that had 278. So I can take a look at those, and then I can see what they are. So one of them was a new post, the other two were existing posts. So this new post is performing very well, and I want to be aware of that. So that was giving me some good information. So that is top growing pages compared to the previous month. And then the next little summary it gives me is top performing pages. This is pages overall, the ones that had the most traffic to them. So again, you could get this information in Google Analytics. You can do multiple clicks, but here you can get it, boom, summarized in a report for you, and you can go to the full report. So it tells me my top 3 for performing pages, and I can see, okay, one of those, yeah, that page always does well. This other one, oh, that's the same one that had the most growth. Now that one has moved up into the number 2 slot. And there's number 3 is a long-standing one that always does well, that type of thing. Going down, the third area it gives you is an important one because you want to know, how do people find me? And this tells you the Google queries, what people are typing into the Google search engine to find you, the phrases they're typing. So it gives you the first, second, and third top phrases of search queries that are being typed in to reach you. So that's helpful. That's informative because that might inform what you want to write about in a blog post in the next month, what you might want to enhance in terms of your content for your product, that's around that. Okay, so you want to be aware of what these top growing queries are, and it might not be your name, it might not be your product, it might be something, a problem that people have that you have written about, how your product service solves that, and that could be the term. And so that means you want to do more content writing, blog posts on that term. Okay, so that's what's key and valuable. And so what would I just say that one was? That's top growing queries. Okay, so the queries that have risen to the top in the past month compared to the previous month, and then down below it again is top performing queries overall. Okay, So it's kind of the rising ones, and then those who overall, what are the top 3? And you can kind of compare those. But again, it's giving you the exact term that people are typing into Google to get to your website. Gives you a quick breakdown again on number of people coming on desktop, mobile, and tablet. On that, my desktop and mobile run just about almost 50-50, and tablet is distant down there, about 10%, that type of thing, where my traffic's coming from, and a number of pieces there. Then you can click to get a full performance report, but that's just a lot right there at a quick glance to give me some information that can help me sharpen content and things going forward. So that's number one today. I wanted to talk about, you have to set this service up. That's something that we could do for you if you need that done. But it is called Google Search Console, and it used to be formerly the Webmaster Tools. Like I said before, the beauty of it is that it also goes deeper, and it takes a look at kind of your website to make sure there's no crawling problems for Google to see it, and make sure that there's no problems with pages getting indexed. You can put a page in there to get indexed quicker that way. It'll check page speed. It's going to give you recommendations for improving mobile page speed, all those kinds of pieces, things that kind of a roadmap that allows your developer to work at some of the infrastructure pieces behind the scenes, if you want to, because again, things are changing over time, and you need to it's like a car. You got to keep it maintained. You got to do some routine maintenance. You got to put new spark plugs in. You got to change the oil. You got to do those things with your website to keep it performing well. You can't go on and assume that original set of tires is gonna last you for the life of the vehicle, 10 years. You got to make some improvements. So this is a way to do that. Okay, and then you take a look at that, and there could be things you say, hey, we've had this site for 4 years, and it's past that stage of having maintenance done to it. It needs to be rebuilt. So we just launched a new site for Elkhart County Board of Realtors. So if you go to digitalhill.com and click on the resources button, or go to /blog, you'll get to the post about the new site for Elkhart County Board of Realtors, and just a quick example of a site that's made it mobile friendly, gave them some key updates so that their events can be listed. There's a calendar integration. There's a partner section. There's multiple pieces there. So again, you're trying to give functionality, particularly in this day and age where you can't always guarantee that you can go in and physically meet with someone, or you can have a meeting, or you can have an event. Your website needs to be doing these services for you. So scheduling online meetings, seeing availability for things, perhaps being able to chat with someone right away. Taking a look at what are your business operations, and can you convert some of those into being available on the website. So wanted to kind of run you through some of those website tips today. So that was Google Search Console. And then, if you want to take a look at recommendations for professional, web design and key features that you might consider, and that we just did for another site, the Elkhart County Board of Realtors, you can come over to the Digital Hill blog to check that out. So that's what I wanted to take a look at today. And again, you have questions about Google Search Console, our team can set that up on your website and take a look at that with you. But that's a key piece. You want to take a look at those, but it's beautiful. It's going to tell you these are the top phrases people were using on typing out Google before they came to your site. Did you know that you could have those top phrases and get that information? That's good stuff to review, be aware of. Drives your content, how you write going forward, because you want more of those types of people. You want to continue to enhance that. All right. So that's some of the key pieces that I wanted to cover for you today, and I'll be back next week with more live with Mike Tips. So in the meantime, if you have questions for us, come on over to digitalhill.com. We have a chat live there. You can also fill out the form, see some of the other features, read more details on the blog. Okay, this is Mike. Take care.